Welcome to our video on the greatest Quranic verse of all time, where we explore some of the most profound and timeless verses from the Holy Qur'an. These selected ayats not only offer guidance and wisdom, but also inspire every aspect of life: faith, morality, justice, patience, and the relationship between man and Allah. Each verse carries a powerful message that resonates deeply with the soul, reminding us of Allah's mercy, justice, and the path to righteousness. Join us as we reflect on these divine words that have shaped the lives of millions across the world.
Surah Al-Mursalat, Qur'an 77, verse 50. Then in what statement after the Qur'an will they believe? Meaning, this verse challenges those who reject the Qur'an, questioning what other message they could possibly believe in if they deny the truth of Allah's final revelation. It stresses the Qur'an's position as the ultimate and conclusive message from Allah. Summary: this verse questions the disbelief of those who reject the Qur'an, asserting that there is no other message worthy of belief beyond the final revelation from Allah. Surah An-Naba, Qur'an 78, verse 40. Indeed, we have warned you of a near punishment on the day when a man will observe what his hands have put forth. Meaning, this verse serves as a warning about the day of judgment, when every person will face the consequences of their actions. It stresses the urgency of preparing for that day by reflecting on one's deeds and seeking forgiveness before it is too late. Summary: this verse warns of the imminent punishment of the hereafter and urges people to reflect on their actions and prepare for the day of judgment. Surah Al-Naziat, Qur'an 79, verses 34 and 35. But when there comes the greatest overwhelming calamity, the day when a man will remember that for which he strove. Meaning, these verses describe the day of judgment as an overwhelming event that will cause people to reflect on their actions and efforts during their lifetime. It serves as a reminder to focus on righteous deeds, as they will be the only things that matter in the hereafter. Summary: these verses depict the day of judgment as a time of great realization when people will remember their deeds and be held accountable for their efforts in this life. Surah Abasa, Qur'an 80, verses 33 to 37. But when there comes the deafening blast, on the day a man will flee from his brother and his mother and his father. Meaning, these verses describe the chaos and fear of the day of judgment, when people will be so overwhelmed by their own fate that they will abandon even their closest family members. It highlights the individual nature of accountability in the hereafter, where everyone will be concerned only with their own salvation. Summary: these verses emphasize the fear and isolation of the day of judgment, where individuals will be consumed by their own fate and abandon even their closest loved ones, reminding believers of the seriousness of that day. Surah Al-Takwir, Qur'an 81, verses 1 and 2. When the sun is wrapped up in darkness and when the stars fall, dispersing, these verses describe some of the signs of the end of the world, including the darkening of the sun and the falling of the stars. They served as a reminder of the inevitable end of all things and the beginning of the hereafter, urging people to reflect on their lives and prepare for the final day. Summary: these verses depict the cosmic signs of the end times, reminding believers of the temporality of the world and urging them to prepare for the hereafter. Surah Al-Infitar, Qur'an 82, verses 1 and 2. When the sky breaks apart and when the stars fall, scattering, these verses describe the cataclysmic events of the day of judgment, when the fabric of the universe will be torn apart. The sky will be split and the stars will lose their stability and fall from their positions, signifying the end of the current world order. This serves as a stark reminder of the temporality of life and the inevitable arrival of the hereafter. Summary: these verses depict the cataclysmic signs of the end times, emphasizing the impermanence of the universe and the approach of the day of judgment. Surah Al-Muttafifin, Qur'an 83, verses 1 through 3. Woe to those who give less, who, when they take a measure from people, take in full. But if they give by measure or by weight to them, they cause loss. Meaning, these verses condemn those who cheat in trade by taking more than they give, emphasizing that such dishonesty is a serious sin. The verses highlight the importance of fairness and integrity in dealings, warning that those who act unjustly will face severe consequences in the hereafter. Summary: these verses warn against dishonesty in trade, stressing the need for fairness and integrity in all transactions, with a reminder that those who cheat will be punished. Surah Al-Inshiqaq, Qur'an 84, verses 1 and 2. When the sky has split open and has listened to its Lord and was obliged to do so. Meaning, these verses describe the obedient nature of the universe, which submits to Allah's command even at the moment of its destruction on the Day of Judgment. The sky will split apart as an act of submission to its Creator, reflecting the ultimate power of Allah over all things. Summary: these verses highlight the submission of the universe to Allah's command, emphasizing His supreme control over creation, even at the end of the world.
Surah Al-Buruj, Qur'an 85, verse 11. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds will have gardens beneath which rivers flow. That is the great attainment. This verse promises the eternal reward of paradise for those who believe in Allah and perform good deeds. The imagery of gardens with flowing rivers is a common depiction of the blissful, peaceful nature of paradise, where the righteous will dwell in eternal happiness. Summary: this verse offers reassurance to believers that their faith and righteous actions will be rewarded with the ultimate success, entry into paradise. Surah Al-Tariq, Qur'an 86, verse 4. There is no soul but that it has over it a protector. This verse reassures believers that every soul is under Allah's protection and care. It emphasizes that nothing escapes Allah's knowledge or control, and each individual is watched over by divine guardianship, providing comfort and security to those who trust in Allah. Summary: this verse highlights Allah's protective care over every soul, reminding believers that they are never beyond His watchful guidance and protection. Surah Al-A'la, Qur'an 87, verses 14 to 15. He has succeeded who purifies himself and mentions the name of his Lord and praise. These verses define success as spiritual purification and the remembrance of Allah through prayer. They emphasize the importance of maintaining spiritual cleanliness, both outwardly and inwardly, as well as the crucial role of prayer in achieving closeness to Allah and success in this life and the hereafter. Summary: these verses emphasize that true success lies in spiritual purification and regular prayer, reflecting a life devoted to Allah. Surah Al-Ghashiyah, Qur'an 88, verses 21 to 22. So remind, O Muhammad, you are only a reminder. You are not over them a controller. These verses remind the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that his role is to deliver the message of Islam, not to control or compel people to accept it. They highlight the importance of free will and personal responsibility in matters of faith, with ultimate accountability resting with each individual. Summary: these verses emphasize the role of the Prophet as a messenger, not a compeller, and the importance of individual responsibility in accepting or rejecting guidance. Surah Al-Fajr, Qur'an 89, verses 27 to 30. To the righteous it will be said, O reassured soul, return to your Lord, well pleased and pleasing to him, and enter among my righteous servants, and enter my paradise. These verses describe the reward awaiting the righteous on the day of judgment. The reassured soul refers to those who remain steadfast in faith and trust in Allah. They will be invited to return to their Lord, enter paradise, and join the ranks of the righteous, fully content and at peace. Summary. These verses offer comfort to believers, promising them the ultimate reward of paradise and Allah's pleasure for their faith and righteous deeds. Surah Al-Balad, Qur'an 90, verse 4. We have certainly created man into hardship. This verse acknowledges that life is inherently filled with challenges and difficulties. It reflects the reality that human existence involves struggle, but these hardships are a test of faith and character. Endurance, patience, and reliance on Allah are key to overcoming life's trials. Summary. This verse highlights the inevitability of hardship in life, encouraging believers to face challenges with patience and trust in Allah. Surah Ash-Shams, Qur'an 91, verses 9 to 10. He has succeeded who purifies it, and he has failed who instills it with corruption. These verses emphasize the importance of spiritual purification and the consequences of corrupting one's soul. Success in this life and the hereafter depends on maintaining a pure heart and avoiding sinful behaviors that lead to spiritual ruin. Summary. These verses stress that true success comes from purifying the soul, while failure results from allowing it to be corrupted by sin and negative influences.
We hope these divine revelations have inspired and enlightened your heart. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay connected for more insightful content. Thank you for joining us in this spiritual journey through the greatest Quranic verse. May Allah guide us all on the path of righteousness.